So today we're going to be doing the same thing as yesterday. We're just breaking it down a little more. Yesterday we did area models that looked like this. If we had the problem 35 times 12, well, what we would do is we made one rectangle, and then we split it into two pieces. We picked which one we wanted to break into expanded form. I'm going to pick 35 to put in expanded form. And then I'm going to put 12 on the side because then I just have basic facts and patterns to solve. So in the 10 side, I'm doing 12 times 30, which equals 360 because there's a 0 in the, we're multiplying by a multiple of 10. So we put a 0 in the ones place, cover up the 0, we have 12 times 3, that equals 36. So I put it in front of that 0. Then, in the ones box, I have 12 times 5, which I know based on my basic facts and patterns is 60. So now I have 360 plus 60. So I'm going to add those two partial products. 0 plus 0 is 0. 6 plus 6 is 12. Regroup the 1 to the hundredths place. 3 plus nothing is 3. Whoops, I'm adding, not multiplying. 3 plus nothing is 3. Plus 1 is 4, which means 35 times 12 is 420. But in today's lesson, we're going to break it down even more. Because not only are we going to put one of the factors at the top in expanded form, we're also going to put the other factor in expanded form on the side, which means all we have to do today is basic facts and patterns. So, step one, really, before step one, you draw a box or a rectangle, but instead of splitting it into two, you actually split it into 4. That way you have a 1s and a 10s and a 1s and a 10s. Then you do the same thing where you take one of your factors, put it in expanded form at the top. I want you to go ahead and add a plus sign right here. Because remember, we're going to put plus signs so that we know it's expanded form. We have to add to get our final answer. But then instead of putting 12 on the side, I'm going to put 12 in expanded form too, up and down. What is 12 in expanded form class without looking?
10 plus 2.
10 plus 2.
10 plus 2. And then I'm going to do the same thing, where I'm going to, in my first box, I'm going to do the number on the side, 10 times the number at the top. And then in my second box, I'm going to do the number on the side, which is again 10 times the number at the top. And then in the third box, I'm going to do the number on the side. Now I'm at the bottom. Is the number on the side still 10? What is the number on the side here, class?
2.
2.
2 times the number at the top, which is what, class?
30.
30.
And then in this last box, I'm going to do the number on the side, which is what?
2.
Sorry. 2 times the number at the top, which is what?
5.
And then I'm going to solve. Is everybody writing these with me? You should have already been writing these as I was writing them so that we didn't have to wait for you. Now we just solve. We solve each box. Well, class, 10 times 30. If we take the most basic of basic facts, it's 1 times 3, which is what, class?
3.
3.
3.
How many zeros are at the end of our factors, class?
2.
So how many go at the end of our product?
2.
Zara, you can just answer. Zara, you can just answer while you're muted because you're a little glitchy.
2.
Zari, you can just answer. Will you just answer while you're muted because you're a little glitchy, so it's coming like way later than when you're actually saying it. So but I can see your mouth moving, okay? Okay, and then maybe in a little while it'll kind of fix itself because it seems to do that. It's usually like right at the beginning or right at the end, and then it's okay in the middle. Okay, so we know 10 times 30 is 300. Now, we do 10 times 5. Well, that is a basic fact. We can pull out the most basic fact, but why do that when we already have a basic fact? 10 times 30 is what, class? I'm sorry, 10 times 5 is what, class?
50.
50.
50.
Now let's go to this box. 2 times 30. We can use basic facts. The basic fact is 2 times 3. 2 times 3 is what, class?
6.
6.
How many zeros do we have at the end of our factors, class?
1.
How many go at the end of our product?
1.
1.
And now in the very last box, we have a basic fact. 2 times 5 is what, class?
10.
10. Now, we multiply to find each of the partial products. Remember, partial products are what? What are partial products? Smith.
They're halves of your answer.
Are they
you have
halves?
to put together.
Halves means one of two. Do we only have 2 partial products here? What's that base word in partial products? What is the base word in partial products? Kingston. Part. So partial products are just part of the final product. So can we leave our answer as 350, 60, and 10? No. Just like what we did yesterday, we add the partial products. So we have 300 plus 50 plus 60 plus 10. So class, 0 plus 0 plus 0 plus 0 is
0.
0.
Mason, 0 plus 5 is 0 plus 5 is 5 plus 6 is not 10. Stop. Use your fingers if you have to. Do not do that. That is not helpful at all. We have been using our fingers all year out in the open. 5 plus 6 is what? 11 plus 1 is? Can you hear me? 12. So we put the 2 in the tens place. We regroup the 1 to the hundreds place. Zadie, 3 plus nothing plus nothing plus nothing is?
3.
Plus our regrouped 1 is? 4. Which means 35 times 12 is what, class?
420.
120.
420. Is that the same answer we got doing the strategy yesterday?
Yes.
Did this one, it took a second longer to draw the model, but did it end up going a little faster when we were doing the multiplication? Yes. So, let's go ahead and now we will go to the guided practice at the bottom, which means we're going to do this together, but I'm going to call somebody to help me with each one. Yes, Carla?
I know another way instead of
Okay. So the directions say use the area model method to solve each problem. Record the products on the answer line. When they say record the problems on the answer line, record the products on the answer lines, they just mean make sure to write your answer here. You're going to be solving your answer down here, but you of course have to write the answer here. So for number 1, we have 35 times 21. Kingston. Instead of just doing 1 in expanded form, we're going to do both. So let's put 35 in expanded form on the top. 35 in expanded form looks like what? 30 plus 5. Now all their boxes are the same, where we like to do a smaller box for the ones, but whatever. It'll be okay. Now on the side, we need to put our other factor in expanded form. What's our other factor? 21. What does 21 look like in expanded form? I can't hear. You gotta wait until I finish asking the question.
24
20, which we put next to the first row. We put a plus by our split, and then we put 1 next to the bottom row. Now Kingston, in this box, we're going to multiply the factor on the side by the factor on the top. So what does this multiplication problem look like?
20 times 30.
What?
20 times 30.
20 times 30. Let's figure out our multiplication, all of our multiplication problems, then we'll come back and solve, okay? So now what a multiplication problem goes in this box?
5 times
Let's go in the same order every time, okay? So 20 was first here. Let's put it first here too. 20 times 5. Okay, what equation goes in this box right here? 1 times 30. And then what equation goes here? 1 times 5. Now let's solve. Kingston, using basic facts and patterns, 20 times 30 is what? 20 times 30 is what? I want to know the whole answer. 600. Because our basic fact is 2 times 3, which equals 6. We have 2 zeros at the end of our factors, so we put 2 zeros at the end of our product. So 20 times 30 is 600. Okay, using basic facts and patterns, 20 times 5 is what? I can't hear you. 100. Because our basic fact, 2 times 5 is 10. We have 1 zero at the end of our factors, so 1 zero goes at the end of our product. Okay, Kingston, using the identity property of multiplication, 1 times 30 is what? 30. Because we know the identity property of multiplication tells us any number multiplied by 1 is that number. Now, 1 times 5 is a basic fact, and it equals what? 5. Now, Carla told us something that would make it a little easier, and I agree with her. If we start and just add across and get 2 numbers, it's a lot easier to add 2 numbers than 4, right? Mm-hmm. It just is. It's just more simple. It looks less confusing. So, Kingston, please add across right here. What is 600 plus 100? 700. And then let's add across here. 30 plus 5 is what? 35. Now, as long as we have lined our numbers up correctly, we can add. If you would like to add over here, that's fine. If you did not line up your numbers properly, you can just make sure you have your numbers. The ones place lines up, the tens place lines up, the hundreds place lines up if you have one in both numbers. Does everybody understand what I'm saying? So that you don't accidentally add the wrong digits. Okay, Kingston, can we leave our answer as 735? No, we have to add. So add the ones. 0 plus 5 is? 0 plus 3 is? 7 plus nothing is? So that means 35 times 21 is what, class?
735.
735, very good. Okay, is everybody with me? Is this a little quicker than yesterday? You may use this, or you may use this on your homework tonight. Oh wait, I forgot. It's different. We already did the math, but whatever. Okay, Smith, you're gonna help me with number 2. Sorry. That word text, is that on all of yours? No, okay, good. Sometimes if I click on the document, it just leaves the word text there and I don't know why. So we'll just ignore that. Okay, Smith.
It's on ours.
Is it on yours? Okay, sorry. That's probably, I don't know. Sorry, you can just ignore it. It's not important. Don't cross it out though, because then it will be in the way. Just ignore it. Pretend it's not even there. Smith, we have to take both factors and put them in expanded form. Let's start with 62 on the top. What does 62 look like in expanded form?
60 plus 2.
60 plus 2. Okay, on the side, we have to put our other factor in expanded form up and down. 15 in expanded form is what, Smith?
10 plus 5.
10. We're going to put our plus next to our split, just like we do at the top. And then put 5 next to the bottom row. Does everybody understand how to set up this area model? Does anybody need me to explain it a little bit more? Zari, what's your question?
Your screen's a little blurry. I can't really see it.
Well, but you can hear what I'm saying and you can see where I'm pointing. That's all you really need. You need to be able to hear what I'm saying and to see where I am writing these, which problem I'm working on. Okay? Okay, Smith, now we need to figure out what we're going to solve in each box. So this first box on the top left, what is the problem I'm going to be solving?
10 times 60.
10 times 60. Now in the top right box, what is the equation I'm going to be solving?
10 times 2.
Now in the bottom left box, what is the equation I'm going to be solving?
5 times 60.
And in the bottom right box, what is the equation I'm going to be solving?
5 times 2.
5 times 2. Okay, let's go ahead and solve. Smith, using basic facts and patterns, 10 times 60 is what?
600.
600. Using basic facts, 10 times 2 is what?
20.
Using basic facts and patterns, 5 times 60 is what?
300.
300. Using basic facts and using basic facts, 5 times 2 is what?
10.
10. Now we just need to add. Like Carla said, it's a little easier to just add across so that you end up with 2 numbers in the end, 2 partial products in the end instead of 4. So 600 plus 20 is what, Smith?
620.
300 plus 10 is what?
310.
310. And I'm going to make sure that I line my places up correctly so that I don't have to rewrite the problem again. 310. And now what do I do? With those
You
2
add
partial
your
products,
together.
I add them. Let's start with the ones place. Smith, 0 plus 0 is?
0.
2 plus 1 is?
3.
6 plus 3 is?
9.
So class, 62 times 15 is what?
930.
930.
930. Now there's another reason that we are trying to get 2 partial products in the end. And you will see what that is tomorrow when we do the paper and pencil way of solving double-digit multiplication. Ethan, can you help us with number 3? Okay, we have 15 times 18. We have to put both of these factors in expanded form. So let's go ahead and put 15 at the top. 15 in expanded form looks like what?
10.
10? Look at, it's the same pattern as before. 35 was 30 plus 5 in expanded form. 62 was 60 plus 2 in expanded form. So 15 is what plus what in expanded form? 10 plus? Can somebody help him out? Zadie?
10 plus 5.
10 plus 5. Because remember, we're adding the values of each digit. A 1 in the tens place is worth 10. A 5 in the ones place is worth 5. So 10 plus 5 is 15. Let's do the same thing with 18. If 10 plus 5 is 15, then 10 plus what is 18, Ethan? 10 plus 8. Now we just solve. or we just figure out the problems we're solving. What multiplication problem are we solving in our top right, our top left box? The number on the side, which is times the number at the top, which is in the top right box. What problem are we solving? The number on the bottom left. What are we solving? And the number on the bottom right. Yeah, bottom right. What number or what equation are we solving? 8 times 5. Okay, now we just need to solve. Using basic facts. 10 times 10 is what, Ethan? That's 10 plus 10. What's 10 times 10? Remember, 10 plus 10 means you take two groups of 10 and you put them together. 10 times 10 means you take a group of 10 and you repeat it 10 times. Michaela, can you help them out?
110.
Not 110. Cullen, can you help her out?
100.
100. 10 times 10 is 100. Okay, Ethan, using basic facts, 10 times 5 is what? 50. Using the bottom left, 8 times 10 is what? I can hear you. 80. And the bottom right, 8 times 5 is 40. Now, let's go ahead and add across so that we get two partial products to add. Ethan, 100 plus 50 is what? I can't hear you. Let's add the ones place. 0 plus 0 is, I can't hear you. 0. Add the tens place. 0 plus 5 is, add the hundreds place. 1 plus nothing is, now let's do the bottom. Same thing, we're going to go across. We do have to regroup. However, we'd have to regroup to the hundreds place. And do we have a hundreds place? No, so we can just put that digit we'd have to regroup in the hundreds place. So, Ethan, add the 1. 0 plus 0 is, and I'm going to make sure I line it up. Add the tens place. 8 plus 4 is 12. I don't have a hundreds place to regroup to, so I'm just going to put my 2 in the tens place and my 1 in the hundredths place. And I made sure to line up each place. Can I leave my answer as 150 and 120? No, I can't write this. That's not an answer. And somebody might think you're saying 150,120. And is that correct at all?
No.
No, not even close. So, we have to do step 3, which is to do what? What do we have to do with these partial products, Ethan? Add them. So let's add. Let's start with the ones place. 0 plus 0 is, 5 plus 2 is, not 8, 7. Add the hundreds. 1 plus 1 is, so class, 15 times 18 is?
270.
270. Okay, number 4, 54 times 23. Carla, you're going to help me. Let's put our first factor in expanded form at the top. What is 54 in expanded form, Carla?
50 plus 4.
50 plus 4. Now we have to put our other factor in expanded form on the side. What's our other factor, Carla?
23.
And what does 23 look like in expanded form?
20 plus 3.
20 plus 3. Please don't forget your plus signs. You may think that's so silly. Why do we have to do it? Well, because if you don't, I can guarantee you at least 2 of you will forget to add. Okay, Carla, now let's figure out our equations. What equation is going to go in our top left box?
20 times 50.
20 times 50. What equation is going to go in our top right box?
20 times 4.
20 times 4. What equation is going to go in our bottom left box?
50 times 3.
50 times 3. And what equation is going to go in our bottom right box?
3 times 4.
Let's go in the same order. In the bottom left box, we did the top number first, so let's do the same thing in the bottom right box. So instead of 3 times 4, we can write, let's start with the factor at the top, Carla. Instead of writing 3 times 4, let's start with the factor on the top, which would be 4 times
3.
3. Remember, the commutative property says it doesn't matter what order the factors are in. But the reason I'm having you put them in the same order every time is so that you can see the pattern when you go back. Okay? Because I want you to see, oh, I just take my side number and multiply it by my top number. Side number and multiply it by my top number. And so on. Okay? So now, Carla, let's solve. Using basic facts and patterns, what is 20 times 50?
1,000.
1,000. Very good. There are 3 zeros. Because 2 times 5 is 10. And there are 1, 2 factors at the end of our zeros. So that means it's not 100, it's 1,000. Okay, Carla, using basic facts and patterns, 20 times 4 is what?
80.
80. Very good. Using basic facts and patterns, 50 times 3 is what, Carla?
150.
Good. And using basic facts, 4 times 3 is?
12.
Good. Now, let's add across so that we can get 2 partial products instead of 4, because 2 partial products are a lot easier to add than 4. So, Carla, let's go across the top. 1,000 plus 80 is what?
1,080.
1,080. Now let's add across the bottom. 150 plus 12 is?
162.
162. Good. And I'm going to make sure I line my digits up. So my 1 goes in the hundreds place, my 6 goes in the tens place, and my 2 goes in the ones place. Now, can I leave those as my answer, Carla?
No.
No, I have to do step 3, which is to do what with these partial products?
Add.
Add them. Very good. Okay, Carla, let's add. Start with the ones place. 0 plus 2 is?
2.
Add the tens. 8 plus 6 is?
14.
14. Leave the 4 in the tens place. Regroup the 1 to the hundreds place. Now we have to add the hundreds. Carla, 0 plus 1 is?
1.
Plus our regrouped 1 is?
2.
2. Bring down our comma because it always lines up in addition and subtraction. Now we add the thousands. 1 plus nothing is what, Carla?
1.
So that means, class, take a second, make sure you know the number. 54 plus 23 is what, class?
1,242.
1,242. There you go. Everybody feel good about it? Does everybody feel good about this? Because now I'm going to give you your independent practice / homework. That means it's both. Girls at home, it says IP page 1 and IP page 2 at the top. It is exactly the same as this, just instead of saying area model multiplication, it says more area model multiplication. There you go. Okay, I'm going to pass it out to those of you at school.